Hi, it's Mags Sheridan. I'm here today to describe the cycle of the year that I developed for my workshops in both Wise Body and Boss Moves. This is a tiny picture of it here, but I don't expect you can see that now. We're going to go through it in more detail closer up. So, the cycle of the year is the combination of two things. One is the metaphor of the seasons, and the other is the what I call the mojo triad. So when I say the metaphor of the seasons, what I mean is using nature and applying what's happening in nature to what the humans are doing. So for instance, in nature in winter, there's more darkness. Animals are resting, plants are breaking down, and there's a lessening of activity and more of like a storing kind of process going on. But then when spring comes, things are pushing up through the ground and starting to grow, preparing for the new season, maybe preparing for the next generation. And so you can see a big contrast between the metaphorical energy of winter and the metaphorical energy of spring. And the same is true for summer, where there's heat and activity. Things are blooming or pollinating or making fruits. And generally, there's a lot more activity in the natural world than in autumn. That starts to slow down. The green color fades away, and the natural world is preparing for rest, for harvesting. So, no matter where you live in the world, I think you understand the analogy of things that start and have an action and then end. And then there's a space in between those things. Our seasons here in Australia don't match up with this precisely around the quarters of the year, but that's okay because we're using this as an analogy, as a metaphor. So, in everything that I do in my day to day, there's a spring, a summer, an autumn, and a winter to the cycle of my day. In this talk, there's a spring, summer, autumn, and winter to this talk. So this analogy can be applied to almost everything that has some change happening. So in combining this metaphor with the mojo triad, and that's my name for these three essential qualities for reclaiming your life and living the life that you want to live: pleasure, presence, and power. All my workshops are around one of those themes, even when it's not explicitly stated. Those are the three things that I'm passionate about, and helping people build those skills helps them live the life they want to live. So, skills, yes. Each season, seasonal energy includes many different skills. So, this list of 12 is an example of how I set things up for the first set of 12 workshops in the Boss Moves program. So, combining this starting energy of spring with the feeling of presence, of being fully authentic and aware in myself. One of the skills that comes out of that combination is vision. Where am I wanting my business or my life or this project to go? And what is the most exciting thing I can imagine that I think about that? Or what is the very pragmatic thing that's coming next in the list? And everywhere in between. All of that can be included in vision. Um, Similarly, a power in that springtime energy is visibility and showing myself, letting myself bloom, and showing my beautiful petals to the world, or whatever that analogy is. Visibility workshop is one that's available on my website, in fact. So if you are someone who is thinking about going live and you can't quite make yourself do it, then using embodiment, you can build the skill of better visibility. In the season of winter, the skills that I am working with are patience and rest and celebration. And in summer, it's about intuition and action and flow, autumn, clarity, persistence, and completion. So if you ponder this analogy of the seasons right now, you might be able to tell, oh, in my life, I'm the kind of person who does the first 75% of the project, and then I never quite get to that last bit. That means I need a little bit more strengthening in that autumn skill of persisting till the end and bringing the thing to completion. Now, you might also need that springtime skill of visibility to help you promote the thing. Um, so that's why, as we go through the whole year, you're building skills that help with different parts of your life. And they don't necessarily build on each other, but they all work together to have a complete set of the skills that you need. So, in a circular format, here's what the cycle, one part of the cycle of the year looks like. And you'll have possibly many different ways that the mojo triad of pleasure, power, and presence interacts with those seasonal energies of starting, going, stopping, and stopped. When you combine them, there's a lot of rich possibilities for things to work on. And one thing that's not represented on this slide is that each season also has a downside or a negative part to be wary of. So I'll cover those in another video. If you are available on Wednesday at midday, I'll be discussing something in this winter category for the boss moves people, entrepreneurs. And as an embodiment workshop, it is a relaxed conversation with a little bit of movement and a little bit of fun, seeing what kind of wisdom we can bring up from moving our bodies together. I can't wait to see you.